Do you know how bad things have gotten for Marc Marquez lately? From being sidelined with injuries, receiving penalties, and even being targeted by his once rival Rossi, it seems like the odds are stacked against him. Will he be able to bounce back from the numerous setbacks he's faced? Or will we witness the end of an era as Marquez's reign in the MotoGP world comes to a screeching halt? Only this video will tell. Before that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now buckle up and prepare for a heart-pumping ride as we uncover the truth about the downfall of Marc Marquez. Let's dive in. The complicated legacy of Marc Marquez in MotoGP. In the high-stakes world of MotoGP, the action never seems to cease. For Marc Marquez, however, the drama seems to intensify with every passing moment. Despite being disqualified from the Argentina round, the Spanish rider's troubles are far from over. He is now compelled to serve his penalty for the infamous Miguel Oliveira incident during the MotoGP Portugal Grand Prix. During the season's opening Grand Prix, Marquez's luck ran out as he locked up while braking for turn 3 on lap 3 and collided with Aaron F. Aprilia's Oliveira. Well, it seems like Marquez just couldn't keep his brakes in check. He must have forgotten that he was on a MotoGP bike and not playing bumper cars with his friends. The collision resulted in both riders being immediately eliminated from the race. To add to the chaos, Jorge Martin of Pramac sustained a broken toe from the accident that pushed him off the track. It seems that bad luck continues to haunt Marquez in MotoGP. Let's see how Marquez's misfortune doesn't stop here. Marquez's situation became worse after it was confirmed that he had a fracture in his right hand. He recently underwent surgery, preventing him from competing in the upcoming Argentina Grand Prix. Looks like Marquez's troubles just keep piling up. It's almost as if the universe is conspiring against him. The FIM stewards panel, in response, handed him a double long lap penalty. It was supposed to be served at the Argentina Grand Prix. Nevertheless, due to Marquez's absence from the event, he was to be exempted from the punishment. It seems that the stewards have had a change of heart and are now making sure that Marquez serves his penalty, no matter where he races next. It looks like he can run, but he can't hide from the consequences of his actions. The official stewards' statement provided further clarification on the matter, indicating that Marquez will now have to serve the penalty at the next race in which he participates. In light of the stewards' verdict, the FIM MotoGP panel issued a statement clarifying the ruling's applicability. The statement said, "Considering the injury and non-participation of Marc Marquez at the Gran Premio Michelin de la República Argentina, and with a view to comply with the intention underlying the decision by the FIM MotoGP Stewards Panel, the double long lap penalty shall be served by the rider at the next MotoGP race in which he will be able to participate." The developments have taken a heavy toll on the Argentina Grand Prix, which has been hit with multiple withdrawals due to injuries. But before we get into the details, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Argentina Grand Prix rider withdrawals. Looks like the MotoGP paddock needs to invest in some bubble wrap for their riders. With so many injuries and withdrawals, it seems like the only way to make it to the finish line these days is by riding in a protective bubble. While Marquez expressed his full concurrence with the penalty at the time, he is one of the 4 riders who will be unable to compete in the Argentina Grand Prix due to injuries. Oliveira, who sustained tendon injuries in the crash, will also be absent from the race. Additionally, a broken shoulder has sidelined Ducati's Enea Bastianini after he was caught up in the collision with VR46's Luca Marini in the previous race. Meanwhile, Tech 3's Poli Espargaro is out indefinitely after suffering multiple fractures and a violent FP2 incident. After the crash, Oliveira's initial scans at the Circuit Medical Center revealed no significant injuries. However, recent medical tests discovered wounds that will keep him off the track for this week's second round of the season. But hey, at least he's got his priorities straight. He's committed to being competitive in the World Championship, even if it means missing out on this week's race. Let's hope he can heal quickly and get back in the saddle for round 3 in Austin. In fact, the severity of Marquez's injuries was also confirmed later by his team, Red Bull Honda. He revealed that he had sustained a displaced intra-articular fracture of the base of the first metacarpal of his right-hand thumb. This necessitated a surgical procedure, which was promptly performed upon his arrival back in Barcelona. The procedure was a closed reduction of the fracture and internal fixation, employing the use of 2 screws, and it went without a hitch. Unfortunately for Marquez and his team, however, the prognosis is that he will be out of action for the entire weekend. They will be missing both the Saturday sprint race and Sunday's full-length race. This early setback could prove to be a significant blow to Marquez's championship aspirations, especially considering the fact that his primary rival Francisco had emerged from the first weekend with a perfect score after securing 2 wins. Looks like Marquez has some serious catching up to do. However, problems for Marquez are far from over. Things took an unexpected turn when Valentino Rossi brought up the 2015 Malaysian Grand Prix during Gianluca Gasoli's BSMT podcast. Rossi and Marquez's personal war reignited. In a recent interview on Gianluca Gasoli's BSMT podcast, former rivals Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez found themselves in the spotlight once again. This time, however, it was not due to their racing prowess, but rather to a personal war that began during the 2015 Malaysian Grand Prix. According to Rossi, Marquez had bothered him throughout the race in Malaysia and even tried to throw him down. When they touched, Marquez accused Rossi of kicking him, but Rossi denied the claim. Marquez, on the other hand, had accused Rossi of helping Jorge Lorenzo in the World Championship. Who knew that podcast interviews could be just as dramatic as the races themselves? It's like reality TV on 2 wheels. The accusations and counter-accusations have reignited the deep rift between the 2 riders, causing a stir in the MotoGP world. It remains to be seen how this will affect their future interactions and the sport as a whole. But beyond the drama and the rivalries lies a deeper issue. It is the responsibility of motorcycle racing sponsors to their riders and their reputation. Honda in particular has a paradox to address. Let's address the paradox of Honda's responsibility to its riders and reputation. In the world of professional motorcycle racing, the pursuit of victory is all-consuming. It is a world where every decision, every action is calculated with the singular goal of crossing the finish line first. And yet, there are values that should never be compromised in this quest. Values like safety, sportsmanship, and the reputation of the brand. Unfortunately, Marc Marquez seems to have missed the memo. His reckless behavior has put both himself and his sponsor, Honda, in a bit of a pickle. As a professional racer, aggression and competitiveness are certainly necessary traits. But Marquez's style of racing often goes beyond that, teetering on the brink of recklessness and outright disregard for the safety of himself and other riders. His fellow competitors have criticized him for being dangerous and out of control, and it's not hard to see why. The risks he takes not only jeopardize his own safety, but also that of his competitors. It's like my grandma used to say, better to be a late winner than a wrecked winner. In stark contrast, riders like Pecco Bagnaia and Fabio Quartararo have earned a reputation for their clean and sportsmanlike approach to racing. They are fast, they are successful, and they are proud ambassadors of their sponsors. They embody the idea that winning is not everything, but how you win matters just as much. Maybe they should start teaching a course on manners and sportsmanship to some of their fellow riders. I can think of a few who could use it. This begs the question, what does Honda stand for? The brand's famous slogan, "You meet the nicest people on a Honda," suggests that it prioritizes kindness, politeness, and respect. And yet, the rider they seem to be most proud of is Marquez. His aggressive and reckless behavior on the track is anything but nice. Adding to Marquez's troubles is his recent injury and absence from competition, along with the double long lap penalty he received. It seems that everything is going against him at the moment. However, Marquez is known for his resilience and fighting spirit. His fans and fellow riders can be sure that he will come back better and stronger than ever. The future may be uncertain, but one thing is for sure, Marquez will not go down without a fight. As the MotoGP season continues, all eyes will be on Marquez as he works his way back into the competition. Will he be able to overcome the injury and the accusations and emerge as the champion once again? What are your thoughts? Drop them in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.